Hey, we live from Sicarii, Atlanta. All right. So we're not gonna have Sabbath class as usual tonight. So what we're gonna try to do is get with y'all and take y'all questions now. Okay. I want to make sure check your channel, make sure this is not members only.
Let me see.
So you guys get a behind the scenes look at the setup, and we got a camp video for you guys
Oh yeah, I'll be dropping.
in about 30 minutes. Okay. We live.
Yeah, we live.
All right. Simulcast? You good? So, you know, we're here for the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight. Now, the main thing is we're here for Brotherhood.
That's right.
So when Sicarii extended the invite, of course, we're going to take it. Now, we would normally do class on Friday night. Y'all expect class 8:45. You know how we do it. We're just going to have it different. We got a camp video for y'all to watch at 8:15. All right? Then we're going to go live from the Patreon so you can get the behind the scenes, and from the YouTube membership so you can get the behind the scenes of the fellowship. And, of course, we're going to take y'all questions and give y'all that access that y'all want right now. So for the next hour, I want to say we're going to take questions. If y'all got questions, ask them. We got some of the brothers from Sicarii here. Right? Don't put them on the spot. Don't put them on the spot.
My bad.
And you know, we'll fellowship with you for an hour, so we can be loyal to the brothers and sisters who bring Sabbath in with us weekly, and then we're going to translate over to Chiefdom, right, and their broadcast. But then we're going to be live simultaneously on the members only and on the Patreon. I hope y'all understand. So right now, you know, just walk me outside real quick. Give y'all some space. Need your coat?
Nah, I'm good.
So, how many people we got on?
We got 30 people on now.
What's in the comments right now?
Just shalom, just greetings.
All right, so what I really want to lace y'all with, we got new music from Yatham and Yazabad. That's going to be dropping for the YouTube members and for the Patreon members tonight as well. I got my laptop inside. I'm going to launch that. I'm going to upload that tonight. So y'all should have got new videos this week, and you're going to get more content. We're going to rework the YouTube membership. YouTube is hitting us for 30% of y'all monthly donations, and it's better for y'all to get the Patreon.
Yeah.
Because we got more content over there anyway.
Yep.
So we're going to rework the tiers, make it make more sense, and hopefully translate y'all. If y'all can keep y'all YouTube memberships, because we got specific content for the YouTube, but the price is going to change just a little bit to make sense, because it's YouTube is taking such a large chunk of that. And that's what we got to talk about, Israel. In this faith, the truth is not a business. And I don't like the energy that I see sometimes when brothers is explaining the financial challenges and everybody got a comment. My brother, speaking of Sicarii, my brother Ariella posted a video, and somebody was in the comments just complaining how many commercials you're gonna have. And I'm thinking to myself, wait, Ariella gotta buy the editing equipment, buy the laptop, he gotta buy the internet, he gotta sit down, edit the video, he gotta put the video up after being the star of the video because he's doing the teaching, and then bring it to you, and you're mad because you gotta watch an ad. Can the man get reciprocity? These are the people that don't donate, don't even like the video, won't even subscribe to the channel.
Right.
Talking like that. Y'all do have to understand there's a cost involved to bring you this content and to make all of this happen, right? So with that said, me being who I am and what I do, I'm thinking about value. I gotta bring value. So what do I got the brothers doing? I got them stepping up on the Patreon, making video after video, daily edification. We got you watching Zeus for the sisters. We got the Pillars of Rest. We got 8 episodes, well edited, feminine content that the nation really, like, only a small percentage has even seen that.
Right.
So before we advance to season 2, we trying to get the views up on that, because our viewership, it hasn't really blossomed yet. But that's all the work that we're doing for y'all. We got the executive members. I just sent out their merch this week, because when you're an executive member, we send you merch, right? But then on top of that, we got daily edification, and it's like, yo, You think that's easy to come by? You think that's easy to manage? So it's ways to help the body rather than you just sending a cash app. Why don't you subscribe to the Patreon?
Just subscribe.
It's ways to help the body. If you can't right now subscribe to the Patreon, why don't you just like the video or subscribe to the channel? Let us get that subscription. Instead of going on YouTube and looking us up, be a subscriber. These are the things that we're talking about. It makes it easy for us to operate as a body and an entity. One of the things that, don't show the location, one of the things about Sicarii having a school, I'm proud that they got a house to do their work, right?
Right.
And I'm happy to be a guest here. And SOT wants that. But we a young camp, fledgling camp, and we got a small membership group, right? The membership got a little bit larger now that we brought the Pillars of Rest in, but it's still a small body. But if we want to do things like have a brick and mortar, our own school where, you know, we could really worship in person, that's going to take a certain commitment. And I know we can get there, man. You just got to have the right attitude about it. I don't like the negative attitude because even the Christians don't have that negative attitude towards their worship, right? And they're getting swindled because they're not getting the truth.
Right.
And they're pouring their finances into the church. We're not asking that. Paul says that he worked so that he would not be chargeable of any of you. So we work hard, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we work hard. But for us to have the nicer things and to take things to a new level, we can only do that with the people that study with us. We can only do that with y'all help, right? So I'm always going to be active in the ministry. Tomorrow we got camp.
Yep.
Okay. But tonight we have a treat to be able to fellowship with our brothers of Sicarii, man. So what I want to do is, instead of just saying, yo, we'll be back regularly scheduled class next week, and then just all we got going is the camp video for y'all, and then the behind the scenes, all the Patreon and the YouTube members get to see. For the people that just study with us on the regular, I wanted to come on early so that we could do Q&A. I could take y'all questions, and if we need to, we can go into the scriptures before we have to shut it down and move over to Chief Dome with Guerrilla Hebrew.
Right.
All right. So
the guys pulled up.
yeah, if you see anything in the comments, any questions, let's get to that thing. All right. See some of the brothers showing up.
Hey, shalom.
All right. They're not here yet. It's brothers in there.
Yeah, we actually already here.
Oh, you guys here already?
Yeah, we learned.
All right, so pull out your phone. Let's see any questions from the people. Let's deal with that. You know, like I said, we're not just gonna do this for the YouTube members and for the Patreon members tonight. Basically, we're gonna be live streaming. We need to be on Twitch because it's gonna have that feeling as we watch this fight. Now, do I think the fight is official? To be honest, what's up, Bob? To be honest, no. I don't. I think it's sports betting has ruined everything. Yeah. Right? Sports betting has ruined everything. That's why you got to be conscientious of where you're spending your money and how you're investing in these last days. The Most High will have you bring back His investment with interest. That's but right. You could do the same thing. The parable of the faithful steward explains that. Right? So if you could look after a little, the Most High will have you looking over much, as long as you're faithful to it, man. That's right. And Israel's got to become sharper with their finance. What we adding to the Patreon is financial education on how to invest your money and how to grow that investment, even if you only have a little bit each month to spend. Financial literacy is important for our community. And for me to say that the brothers in the camp are taking advantage of that, like some of the brothers that I work with are taking advantage of that, but we also going to offer it to our constituency. You see any questions up there for the people?
Nothing popping up on the screen.
Read some of the comments. You labeled the Q&A? No, just live from.
Can you brothers are Australian Israelites? Why or why not?
Say what?
Okay, I got it right here.
Okay.
Can you brothers are
Give it to him,
Australian?
you feel.
Yeah.
Okay, can you read it?
Yeah.
Question from Chris Terry.
Watch your back, yo.
From Chris Terry, can you brothers are Australian Israelites? Why or why not?
So in Australia, you mean the indigenous people? So you're most likely talking about the Aborigines. So when you talk about the Aborigines, the elders delivered to us that's Japheth. Okay, that's the way it was taught to me. At my inception into the truth, we was taught that the Aborigines are Japheth. Does that mean there are no Israelites in Australia? No, Israelites are everywhere in the four corners of the earth, as prophecy dictate. Right? Give me Isaiah 11.
God.
Give me Isaiah 11.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 11.
Got your jacket.
Formal slow. This is the book of Isaiah 11, starting at verse 1.
He's talking right now, so you thinking.
And there shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse,
That's talking about Christ, God.
and a branch shall grow out of his roots.
Come on.
And the spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him,
Read.
and the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge, and the spirit and of the fear of the Lord.
Come on.
It shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord.
Come on.
And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes,
Read.
neither reprove after the hearing of his ears.
Come on.
But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity for the meek of the earth.
So that's talking about Christ, but that's also talking about the line of David. His sons that were righteous in general that became king to sit on that throne. Remember, sitting on the throne of your father David went for many people.
Right.
That went for Solomon, that went for Hezekiah, and the likes. But we know ultimately that's talking about Christ. Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse,
Come on.
which shall stand for an ensign of the people.
Come on.
To it shall the Gentiles seek.
Now, we was just talking about that. If you was watching earlier, if y'all didn't get to catch it, Captain Tazariak had a debate with God Logic. They debated the Trinity, but they also debated Gentile salvation. And of course, Captain Tazariak is a veteran in the game. He handled himself like a true professional, and he made some excellent points. But that word Gentile just means nation. It's translator's choice to write Gentile right there. What do I mean translator's choice? The word there is goy, meaning nation. The translator makes the choice to write Gentile there.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you to believe that there is a word in Greek or Hebrew that means non-Israelite.
Right.
You know what that word is? Heathen. So stop there. Read on.
And his rest shall be glorious. And it
Like,
shall,
why would there be a see Gentile means non-Israelite? Why would it? Why would it? Why would the Greeks have a word that means non-Israelite? For what?
doesn't make any sense.
That was a great question. When I heard that question, I had to ponder on that. I need an answer to that. Why would they make up a word that means non-Israelite and add it to their lexicon?
Right.
No, the word Gentile just means nation. It's translator's choice to write Gentile. God?
Right. And his rest shall be glorious.
Come on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again.
Say what?
The Lord shall set his hand again
Read.
the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria,
Read.
and from Egypt,
Come on.
and from Pathros,
Come on.
and from Cush,
Come on.
and from Elam.
Now we know that these people are other nations by name, but Israelites are in these
They're there.
places. Read.
And from Shinar,
Come on.
and from Hamath,
Come on.
and from the islands of the sea.
Yeah.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcast of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah
See that? Come on.
from the four corners of the earth.
That's why I was telling you that we're going to be scattered all over the world. The earth is not square. Four corners is a euphemism for every extremity, every part. Right? So that's the complete answer on that. We got any other questions?
Got another one.
Let me get the next one.
SOT Soldier Abaya. He wants a
many?
breakdown of Isaiah chapter 9 and 6, the everlasting Father.
All right, so now the SOT's position, and notice that we had to step outside of Sicarii school out of respect. See, this is advanced. Everybody can't do this. The brothers of Sicarii do not teach exactly what we teach, but they teach what we teach.
Yeah.
So we understand how to be brothers, even though we can slightly disagree on points of doctrine, where some of y'all are so hung up on that, you can't figure out how to solve Zephaniah 2 and 1. So you so caught up on, we got the 100% truth. You got to teach exactly the way that we teach, that you can't be brothers with your fellow Israelites while we're about to sit in luxury and be treated like kings all night. Right. All right, because that's the way they treat us. Okay? Right. So where we differ on doctrine has nothing to change the fact that we brothers in blood. That's right. And we understand that.
So
Okay? Go ahead.
not even understanding or taking into account that in biblical prophecy in Isaiah 52 is saying that the saints are going to see eye to eye when Zion come. So that means in the kingdom is when we're going to see eye to eye as pertaining doctrine. That's when that river of pure water is going to run from the throne of God.
Revelation 22:1.
Exactly. So that's when that's going to happen.
Right.
Expecting that to happen on earth right here is asinine. But we're not going to allow that to be an obstacle of us not being brothers.
Yeah, and you Christians are criticizing, and what annoys me is y'all don't teach the same thing.
Exactly.
You will see a Presbyterian come together with a Methodist to hate Israelites.
Yeah.
Y'all don't teach the same thing.
Exactly.
You will see a Baptist come together with a Catholic to shout down the Israelites. Y'all don't teach the same thing. The only reason y'all have Brotherhood is because y'all dislike the same group. So y'all actually gathered around hate while we gathered around love. Ask that question again. 9 and 6?
Isaiah 9 and 6.
All right, so that brings me to my point. At SOT, we don't force our doctrine on those around us. So we had the courtesy to step outside of their house, number one, if we're going to kick doctrine on our class. When I step back in the house, we're going to teach things we agree on, and we're going to go forward like that when we get on Chief Dome later. All right? And when you see us on the Patreon and the YouTube membership later tonight, all right, because we're going to go live, we're going to stream the whole experience of spending time with our brothers and watching the fight. Now, SOT's position on Isaiah 9 and 6 is that's talking about Hezekiah.
Yeah.
The immediate context of Isaiah 9 and 6 is talking about King Hezekiah. Start at verse 1. Isaiah chapter 9 and 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation, when at the first.
So obviously there's a conversation that's already happening when you get to chapter 9 and it's picking up from there. So when you go back to chapter 7 and it's talking about Emmanuel, yes, that applies to Christ, but that had an immediate context already in Isaiah chapter 7. There was someone who came who was called Emmanuel already. If you try to make the name Emmanuel, which means God is with us, and you're going to see that in the upcoming camp videos, the sister was completely out of line we tried to talk to. That's another thing. If your hermeneutic is because his name is Emmanuel, he is elevated to God, then the original person who was called Emmanuel must be elevated to God. But you would never do that. Read 9 and 1 again.
God. Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation.
Come on.
When at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun, and in the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously affect her by the way of the sea beyond Jordan, in Galilee of the nations. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them have the light shine.
Now this is talking about now. The tense is now. It is bad form to make Isaiah 9 and 6 future tense. There's no reason to even do that. Isaiah 9 all the way down is present tense. It is translator's choice to make that future tense, and that's a discussion from all commentaries on the language. There's no indicator that any of that was future tense. Right. Read on.
Thou hast multiplied the nation and not increased the joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, and as men rejoice when they divide the spoil.
Come on.
For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden.
Say it again.
For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden.
Now we're speaking in past tense that something has already been accomplished. That's important. Read on.
And the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, as in the day of Midian. For every battle of the warrior is with
confused noise.
With confused noise, and garments robed in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
Come on.
For unto us a child is born.
That's past tense. That has already occurred. Read.
Unto us a son is given.
Come on.
And the government shall be upon his shoulder.
Come on.
And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father.
The name Hezekiah means the strength of God, the might of God. That's what the name means. It's translator's choice to render that the mighty God, because there's many ways to say that. The strength of God, the force of God. You know what I'm saying? The overwhelming power of God. That's what the name Hezekiah means, the might of God. Read on.
The Everlasting Father.
And why is he called Everlasting Father? That's translator's choice to say everlasting there, because that word there represents for an age or a time, and that means all the kings of Israel were seen as a father figure and as an overseer. Read on.
The Prince of Peace.
Read. And he had peace during the entirety of his reign. Read.
Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end.
Now they will argue, well, Joel, we know that Hezekiah's kingdom ended, right? That's where we give you the sense. While he was in the seat of rulership, there was no end to the peace of his government. And that's written. You can find that in the book of Chronicles when they describe Hezekiah's kingdom. You see something?
Yeah, somebody.
What they say?
Jeremy Thomas, they said, if the Bible say don't trust man, why do you trust the man that taught you?
If the Bible says don't trust man,
He said if the Bible says don't put your trust in man.
some for teachers. That's in the New Testament.
And go to the book of Acts.
Now, when the Bible says don't make flesh your arm,
Yeah.
because the Bible doesn't say don't trust man.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
It says don't make flesh your arm. Don't rely on mankind when you're looking for salvation. You rely on who? God.
Right.
Number one. Number two, the people that taught me didn't command me to believe them.
No, it didn't.
What they did was they came outside, put their face out there, taught the doctrine, and then went in the Bible, and I read what they were saying because it was present.
Right.
All right, but not to be distracted. Continue that with Isaiah 9. And then, oh yeah, read this.
This is the book of Ephesians chapter 4 verse 11. He have gave some apostles
So some people are sent out to do the work. Read.
and some prophets
Some people will have the gift of prophecy. Read.
and some evangelists
Some people know how to evangelize and get you excited for the message. Read.
and some pastors
Some people are pastors. They know how to lead a congregation. Read.
and teachers.
And some people are teachers. So don't try to argue that people shouldn't be teaching with this whole Holy Spirit idea that you don't need a teacher. That has a context.
And you
Learn and understand that, guys.
and you use Acts chapter 8 and 30 all the time to teach something. So you forgot that scripture. Read that word.
Talking about his
8 and
teacher.
30.
That was the book of Acts, chapter 8, and verse 30.
Go ahead.
And Philip ran thither to him, and heard him read the prophet Isaiah,
Camp video gonna drop in
and
at
said,
8:15.
Understandest thou what thou readest? And he said, How can I, except some man should guide me?
So even this man understood that I had to be guided to understand the scriptures. Philip understood that I got to ask this man, does he know what he's reading? Do you know how to worship the Most High God? In what? Spirit and in truth. Where does that instruction come from? The scriptures. What do you need? A teacher.
I could push the camp video back.
Come on, man.
I mean, if you want to keep doing this for a long time.
I'm sorry. Well, we had 9, right?
Yeah, we are 8. Oh, now right there.
All right.
This, guys, this is the book of Acts chapter 22 and verse 3.
I might move the premiere back.
And I'm verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, in the city of Sicilia. Brought up in the city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the law of the fathers, and was zealous towards God, as ye are all this day. So this precept I just read was the book of Acts 22 and 3. And that's going into Paul speaking about how he was taught by a man. Now the thing, some of y'all are taught by men, but those men are teaching philosophies and fantasy.
Yeah,
That's what
teaching traditions.
Traditions of men after the rudiments of this world and not of God.
Right.
Because we understand through 1 Peter chapter 4 and 11, it says, if any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God. If any man should minister, let him do as the ability that God gives him. And the only ability that God gives men is speaking, thus saith the Lord.
And that's why we can answer these questions like Isaiah chapter 9, right?
You trying to have
Well, you wanted to finish on that, Adam?
I might do a
Rebuttal.
video on that too,
You got a
explaining
rebuttal.
how we come to that conclusion that the immediate context of Isaiah 9 is Hezekiah. Because we have resources.
Yeah, we got the
and
language, too.
explanation for that.
It gets deep.
Any other questions here? What time is it?
Yes, it's 8:08.
Another question?
Y'all
Here's
take
another
the-
question.
Y'all politic for a minute. I'm gonna push the premiere back. Y'all, if y'all see on the channel, we got a premiere at 8:15. What we're gonna do tonight, like I said, we're gonna go live for the YouTube members. We reworking the YouTube membership. We got to change some things because of some choices that YouTube made. So y'all membership's gonna change a little bit, and we're also reworking the Patreon tiers. We're gonna instead of 4 tiers, we're gonna bump it down to 3, and we're gonna condense it. So what we're doing right now is showing you how we about to have this whole new initiative. It's gonna be way more exciting, way more content. What we're gonna do tonight, starting at I believe 8:45, we're gonna move over to the live stream on the YouTube membership and on the Patreon, and we're just gonna be streaming live the whole experience. with our brothers. Everybody else that doesn't have that, you will be able to watch the camp video that we uploaded for you. So you're still getting content while we're live right now. I think all the bases are covered, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear no complaining. I want y'all excited for the truth, just like we are, man. Carry it for a minute. I'm gonna move this class.
Read that. Read that question.
Elon Ariel, Salaki if I pronounce it wrong, for Matthew 12:8. What does it mean when Christ says the Son of Man is even Lord of the Sabbath? Why did he say that?
Right. So, in Matthew chapter 12, the Pharisees are trying to accuse Christ of what? Sin, breaking the Sabbath. Let's read this account. Start at verse 2. Start verse 2.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 2. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day. But
Start at verse 1 so they understand the context.
verse 1, at that time Jesus went on the Sabbath day through the corn, and his disciples were hungered,
Right.
and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat.
So they were plucking corn and eating the corn. Read.
But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Sabbath day.
Read.
But he said unto them, Have you not read what David did when he was a hungered, and they that were with him, how he entered into the house of God?
Now, the account that he's talking about is when David was on the run from Saul, because Saul was trying to take his life. He came to the Levites and asked for the showbread because he was hungry. He needed something to eat, right? Now, the law states that the Levites are to eat of the showbread. But Christ is making a fine point right here. What is it to understand that David was on the run from Saul? This man was trying to preserve his life. So now the law is supposed to keep me and bind me from doing something that's practical, right? Like feeding myself. The Levite permitted him to get it. Did the Levite sin? Was the Levite accused of sin in that moment, in that account? No, right? Keep reading.
Which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. Or have ye not read in the law, how that on the Sabbath days the priests in the temple profane the Sabbath and are blameless?
So what is he talking about? How are the priests profaning the Sabbath and blameless at the same time? Because the priests have to do a Sabbath day offering. Right?
Right.
A Sabbath day offering has to happen. That means I gotta take wood, I gotta cut it, stack it, burn it. Now, a man gathering sticks on the Sabbath got put to death. But why are the priests able to do it? Because the law tells them to do it. So now is the law permitting sin? No. So Christ understands what the law is for and what's happening. Pharisees don't know what's going on. They're trying to accuse him of sin.
Yeah.
Right? But keep reading.
But I say unto you, that in this place is one greater than the temple. But if ye had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice.
Read.
Ye would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day.
The Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day. Did he say, I am Lord of the Sabbath day?
No.
He said the Son of Man. Who's the Son of Man? Men.
Yeah, amen.
Right? There's another account in Mark, right? Men are the lords of the Sabbath. We're the ones that Sabbath was made for. The Sabbath was made for rest. So, because the Sabbath was made for rest for me, now I can't eat. You're going to accuse me of sin because I want to feed myself. That's not what the Sabbath was for. That's not what the law is for. It wasn't made to be a burden on the people. A Sabbath day was made for you to do what? To cast off your burdens. So Christ didn't sin in this moment. His disciples needed to eat. But what the Pharisees would have you believe or would do is they would take the law and they would make it a burden upon you.
Yeah.
Without doing what? Lifting a finger to lighten the burden. Right? So that's why he said this. He said this because the Sabbath was made for man. Same teaching as concerning the ox in the ditch.
Yeah, if it falls.
It's not unlawful to do good on the Sabbath day. My neighbor's ox falls into a ditch. I'm not supposed to help him now because it's the Sabbath.
I can't work.
Let's put it in modern day times. Somebody gets a flat on the side of the road. I'm not supposed to change their tire because it's the Sabbath. No, it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath.
People don't understand. People don't understand the law. The law permits brotherhood. The law permits.
Oh, he right there.
The law permits brotherhood.
Nah, you good. You good.
That's what it permits. It permits loving one another as you love yourself.
Yeah.
So now you're trying to be over righteous and then not helping your brother is not what the law is meant for.
Right.
Brothers, read that.
What was the question?
Matthew 12:8.
Matthew 12:8.
And then people, this is why I don't even understand. People are making certain terms mean things. Like the brother said, the Sabbath was made for man. So you, as a man, you are Lord over the Sabbath.
That's what that means.
Because the Sabbath.
If you
is
read the
made for
account,
you.
you can get that conclusion.
That's what. Yeah. We
Get,
can do,
get the book of Leviticus chapter 23 and 3. Read what? Because look at this card. Why y'all was talking? Somebody put this comment in.
What comment? Are you talking about?
The one you showed me.
Khan. It said, what precept overrides doing your own pleasure on the Sabbath, such as watching the Mike
Look what
Tyson
he
fight?
said.
It's not overriding. Where us watching the fight is the byproduct of fellowshipping with other Israelites.
Exactly.
We didn't skip the Sabbath to do this. Instead, brothers went to camp already. We're live now outside in the brick teaching.
right now.
A video has been edited that's going to be premiered on the Sabbath, and we're going to continue to stay in the Spirit even after this. So what you're saying is we can't watch TV. What you're saying is let's define doing your own pleasure. I like to eat fruit. It brings me great pleasure. Can't eat fruit on the Sabbath.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Matter of fact, I like to breathe.
Nah, don't even make it like that. I enjoy spending time with my son, and I like to play with him and make him laugh.
Can't do that.
That brings me great joy. Can't do that on the Sabbath. Is that what you're saying, brother?
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like,
That's irresponsible.
the thing is like, because I don't think that brother's sincere that asked that question. It's just, you brothers got to understand this. I've got access. There's a chat. People can see my question.
And I think I'm deep.
These brothers got to face my question. I can finger puppet reality right now. I can't resist it. Let me ask this question. That's what people are doing. That's not even a real question. Whoever asked that, you got better questions
Right.
that you want to ask than that. But let's teach this. Go ahead.
So I had one. Just even because the reason why I brought that up, just to bring comfort to certain brothers and sisters and to push certain over righteous brothers and sisters in the corner. Because you have to understand this: the Sabbath day,
Tell Chris I'm not seeing this text.
the Sabbath day.
I'm using my phone.
The Sabbath is read this right here. Let's see what the Bible says about the Sabbath day.
You got it? Because you
I
got
got
it.
it.
The book of Leviticus 22, 23 and 3.
I got
22,
22,
3 and 3.
It's the book of Leviticus. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and 3.
Listen to this.
6 days shall thy work be done, but the 7th day
Read.
is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation.
Hey, what?
A holy convocation.
What's according to the Bible? What is a holy convocation? All right. So when you gather in the name of the Lord, what do? You feast, you eat, you drink, you have a good time. So are you going to tell us that we're not able to do this on the Sabbath day?
And
That's against what the Bible is saying.
And that's why
That's
Christ,
a cut.
And that's a complete cut. And that's why Christ had to teach you. The priests, they go into the temple and profane the temple and yet are blameless.
He said that.
So why is that the case? If what you're saying we're doing is breaking the Sabbath, then you have to accuse the priests who do Sabbath sacrifice breaking the Sabbath.
But it's lawful for them to do what they're doing.
Why? Because the law does what?
It's lawful to do well.
And it outlines what breaking the Sabbath is.
Which is what?
Which is doing laborious work.
Servile work breaks the Sabbath.
Breaks the Sabbath.
Serving others rather than God today
Right.
would break the Sabbath.
We're not out here with our baskets in our store trying to sell do commerce.
So that we can make someone else rich.
So we can make people rich. No. Or make ourselves rich. No. What we're doing is we're coming together in a holy convocation and bringing out the scriptures.
Right.
Serving the Lord.
Right.
First and foremost, before we even go and enjoy the brother.
You don't
You
even
gotta let go of that spirit.
So yeah, just relax.
Because even when we go in there and we watch the fight, while we're joking and talking to each other, it's all gonna be scriptural at the same time.
It's gotta be that way.
That's how our mind works now.
Big Levi got the Bible in his pocket.
Right. He got the little
All right.
the pocket
Big
right.
Levi, that's That's the priest.
And all while this is happening, we're enjoying our brotherhood, and that's why the Sabbath was made for man.
That's actually an evil question.
Nah, it's just unlearned.
Uneducated.
It's just unlearned. Now the elders did tell us, refrain from having sex. Now, would I tell you that sex is a sin on the Sabbath? I can't say that. But if you're gonna go to camp tomorrow, you would be ritually unclean.
Yeah, you would be unclean.
So we ask that you abstain if you're gonna attend camp. If you can't leave your wife alone, stay at home.
Stay home. You can't.
You know.
You can't congregate.
I like to breathe. Everybody say I like to breathe.
I like to breathe, man. I gotta hold my breath.
Who's this question? Julian Crawford.
The water Julius Crawford for the donation.
Thank
While
you.
when Christians debate the Trinity, they do always debate if Christ is God instead of is Christ the Most High God, which is their actual position, and is their SOT in Houston, Texas.
Well, we working on that. We got brothers in Texas right now that
We don't got brothers
are in the
Houston.
Squire level.
We got brothers in Texas, but not at the Squire level. You can go ahead if you would like to join SOT. You can send us an email at SOTisraelites@gmail.com and send in an inquiry to join our next prospect phase.
Right.
Because you can team up with them brothers in Texas and create a body up.
That's right.
And the work is needed out there. Our spirit is needed out there.
And just to answer what he asked at the beginning, the tactic that Christians take is the word.
We need some pipe right now, man. You know what I'm saying? One of y'all two brothers.
This your man's right here.
Oh, y'all we gonna live?
Yeah.
Don't mess up the live.
Nah, you're good. Don't get the address.
Oh, my
So
fault.
just to answer that question real quick, tactic that Christians like to
Close
use
that door
as
behind
concerning Trinity and to teach their point, they take the word
All right,
God
you read it.
and they manufacture it to have one singular meaning. So they use it as a colloquial term to mean that this is the Most High God,
Like a line?
right? But they shoot themselves in the foot because there are scriptures that call men God.
Right.
So what we've done is we've educated Trinitarians actually and shown them through the scriptures that there are examples where men who you would never call the Most High God being rendered as a God or as God.
And that's the thing. When we bring up Moses, you say, well, that verse says he will be as God. What does it mean to be as God?
Right. Right.
It means to be as God. What is the difference between being as God and being God?
So you would have to make a distinction.
Right.
The Most High God you would have to make the distinction.
But they don't want to do that. So they might well say, well, if you're God, you're actually the same substance and essence. But if you're as God, what are you? If you're as God, what are you?
Because if you're as God, aren't you
Don't that mean you have the same amount of authority?
right.
Or are you as God?
Right.
Then that statement has no meaning.
Right.
Y'all was not prepared to think about that. Listen, this is why we can't get a debate though. I've learned from Deacon, sometimes just hide what you know because they duck in the smoke.
Yeah.
And once they consider your positions and they can't get no response to it, they don't want to talk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we've been fighting to get a Trinity debate.
It's not.
We've been begging for it, actually.
We can get the little fish, but we need a person that is prided and giving accolades for that. That's
Look,
who we want.
we want your champions, all right? That's who we want.
What's your big dog?
We want your champions.
All right,
Tired of
all
getting
right,
kicked
all right,
out.
all right, all right, all right.
Clubhouse, man.
All right,
I'm getting fired up. I'm getting fired up.
No, because Christianity has a racial bias where you think the Hebrew Israelites are for some reason we're not scholars and intellectuals, and you also think we don't have a background. You think we were not spiritual men until we found this, and then we decided we like the Bible now. But many of us have a traditional background in Bible, in theology, in eschatology, in Christology. You have a background. And that's where you're overestimating your experience, assuming that we have none, right? So,
even and that's the facts, but it's so cold and powerful when the Lord can even take a person that has absolutely no background, like some of our brothers do. They have no background,
and some Christians have no background.
but they're still able. The people with no background are still able to confound your top scholar.
And it's because we are not fans of what we believe.
Yep. Right.
We've actually done the work. We've actually done the vetting process of ourselves and seeing, do we agree with this understanding?
And let me say this about the truth, to his point. Y'all take comfort in suggesting that we believe this stuff because of an emotional bias.
Yeah.
They believe that because they're mad about slavery and they want to get back at the white man, so they became Hebrew Israelites. You take comfort in believing that that's true. But what if I told you this?
That wasn't the first thing I
We study the Hebrew, the Greek, and the Latin, the church histories, the viewpoint of all the major religions and how they saw it, the historical standpoint. Then we read it for ourselves in context, with great leadership leading us to understand the entire context of the Bible itself.
Sure.
We weigh those words in the balance, and then we either accept that it says that or it doesn't say that.
Right.
And if it does say that, we accept it. That's how we come to our conclusion.
Sure.
Right. And many of us didn't learn a geopolitical point of view first. Many of us came into the truth first learning, hold on, Christ is not the Most High God.
Right.
Wait, we are supposed to keep the laws as Christians, as ones who follow Christ.
And do you think it behooves us to teach to keep the commandments as if that makes life easier? Do you think we go around telling people to keep the law, statutes, and commandments because somehow that's a shortcut through life? It's actually much more rigorous and requires much more discipline. And do you think that's to our dismay or is it fun? So the reason we're practicing that lifestyle is because we have reasoned amongst ourselves that it says that, and we've accepted the reality of it.
Sure.
What you're doing is you believe first, and then you reverse engineer your belief back into the Bible. So when somebody challenges your belief, you're not even willing to consider it because you've already declared yourself correct. This is why you're a Trinitarian. This is why when we try to explain to you the virgin birth is not reasonable, and then we try to go into the manuscripts with you, you don't want to talk anymore. This is why you believe that you must be baptized in water, when we simply, succinctly explain to you, how can you add to the law without sinning? Isn't it adding to the law to command someone to be dunked in water or they will not get the kingdom of heaven?
Right.
Yet Jesus Christ, when asked, how do you get the kingdom of heaven? He says, what does the law say?
Right.
What have you
reads
read?
now?
What have you read?
What have you read? Now, why is he giving that answer if that isn't the truth? And the truth is the Christian perspective is how you get eternal life.
Right.
Now,
Right.
wouldn't that be important for Jesus Christ to teach that to me?
That's a salvatory issue.
And the fact that he didn't, and that he taught the law as the baseline and standard, is why we do.
Right.
We believe we teach what Jesus taught. And y'all are teaching what the church told you that the apostles taught.
Right.
You're not even teaching what the apostles taught. Show me where Paul taught virgin birth.
Yeah.
Show me where Paul mentioned that Joseph was not the father of Jesus Christ. That's important. Show me where Paul said that. Show me where Peter said that.
Right.
That's a dummy message.
And then
Show me that.
And then made it grounds for your salvation.
Salakia. Peter taught Mark. Mark don't even have that in his
Right.
gospel.
Right.
Peter taught Mark. Mark doesn't even have that in his gospel. Hold on. Yo, what's up?
Hey, shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
More of our brothers showing up. It's good.
Man, fresh out the plantation, man. Field nigga action, man.
Say what's up to the live, man.
So are we live right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up? How you doing? Good to see you, brother.
What doctrine we picking right now?
Now we explaining to them that they
Now we
always. You know, we explaining to them that y'all have a bias where you think Hebrew Israelites we stumbled on the truth when some of us don't have a background in this thing.
Right.
As if we're not capable of being scholars and making a decision for ourselves whether or not a doctrine exists or the brother is walking around with a Bible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right. Yeah.
And it's getting used. By the way.
Look,
yeah,
yeah,
look at this. Look at this.
This is getting used.
Yeah.
All right.
That's been through it. That's seen raindrops. That means it's been outside.
This ain't even got no bag on it. I've been thinking about.
You got any other questions up there?
Tell another one.
Slocky, just real quick. We go to the next question. And this is what the last thing we want y'all to understand. Your hubris is in the way of your own education.
Yes.
See, if you don't even have to believe what we believe. We're not asking you to. That's what the misconception, that we're trying to proselytize and bring people
And like make you see it.
Like we're trying to force convert you. No, we're not. We don't have the burden, much like the Bible, to convince you of anything. It's whether you believe it or not.
And that's it.
And that's it. But it's your own pride.
This is
that
not
gets
my
in the way.
cup, by the way.
Yeah, I know, that's all good. Bro.
Not my
That's all
cup.
good.
Right.
That's all good.
For the record.
This is mine. This is not my cup.
That's not his cup.
Y'all know
Listen,
this
he's
is
carrying
mine.
that.
Right.
He's carrying that for his lady. All right.
Hey, so like, I just want to add
Hey,
too.
boy,
I came to this conclusion as a philosophy major in college too.
Wow.
Just to build on the point that you were making.
Like they act like we don't have a background.
Exactly. You know what
We
I mean?
just some guys. We just decided we gonna follow the Bible now. Yo, what up?
And it's that type of ability to set aside pride, because we've all had understandings before coming into the truth that's allowed us to gain education in these things. Like we know the history of your church fathers. We know their teachings. We know your
First of all,
traditions.
look at your bias. That brother said he's a psychology. You didn't think
You didn't even know that.
He didn't even know.
Philosophy major. You didn't think that. He's dealing with your Stoics, right? He's dealing with your Gnosticism. He understands all that.
You just came up and you did exactly what Jesus Christ told you not to do. Was judge, getting judged.
Judge unrighteous judgment.
Because you just all y'all see is us as is criminals,
Just blacks.
So,
Be honest, huh?
And none of us have records.
It's a question from Soldier Nassim in Sirach chapter 27 verse 2 when it says sin stick close between buying and selling. That's right. So this question was, what does it mean?
Read it.
Come. This is Sirach chapter 27 verse 2. As a nail sticketh fast between the joining
Like
of the
this?
stones.
As a nail join these two segments together, or makes this beam connect to the rafter, go ahead.
So the sin stick close between buying and selling.
Because it's always covetousness around.
Yeah.
Buying and selling involves commerce. Money, the love of it is the root of evil. There are a lot of people in this world that love money.
That's right.
So it'll make them do things that are outside of what the law directs.
That's right.
Because they'll do anything to get it. That is the actual culture that we're trying to be the antithesis of. I'll never understand how mainstream Christianity doesn't cheerlead for us. Because we represent the change in the black community that y'all are always begging a politician to bring. That y'all are always begging some public figure to bring.
Right.
We represent that change. If you say the problem with the black community is violence, the Hebrew Israelites, we represent it's against your religion to be violent towards the brother of your own people. Why just your own people? Because you said black on black.
Right. Yeah, that was your,
You
you
said that.
That's literally the criticism.
You said, oh, the black woman is overly hypersexual, overly sexualized. She's the least married. She's having abortions. Wait, Hebrew Israelites teach that sex is marriage. And you call us the devil for teaching that.
Yeah.
When we're showing you how important it is for two people to come together in union and how serious that is and how serious that should be taken. Won't that slow down your unwed wives? Won't that slow down your children out of wedlock? Because once y'all come together, y'all are married. That's not a baby out of wedlock. That's two people taking each other seriously as husband and wife. Now that baby's a part of a family and not a broken home. Why aren't you cheerleading for us to push that? You know why? Because we represent the change that you don't want to see. And that's breaking the shackles of your system where we're at the bottom. That's not a part of our doctrine. Our doctrine puts our people at the front and at the top. That's what you don't like. If Hebrew Israelites taught that everybody could be included, and we didn't teach the nationalistic part of the Bible that the whole book talks about, even Christ, if we didn't teach that part, you wouldn't have any problem with us. You would actually commend us and say, nah, Hebrew Israelites are smart and they know the scriptures. I don't agree with their doctrine, but they know the scriptures. Just the same way you talk about Jews. You don't agree with their doctrine, but you respect them for who they are. The reason you don't respect us is because we put ourselves at the top and the front of our doctrine, and you don't want that for us.
Right.
You have a different thought process of where young men that look like this should be. You have your own idea, and we represent the antithesis of that idea, and that's why you don't like what we teach. We on to you. That's why black people don't like what we teach.
Yeah.
Because instead of them taking pride in what we instruct them and getting on board with it, they feel threatened by this. Because they felt that their way to make it was through subjugating themselves to others. So now we represent a complete paradigm change that they're too afraid to step into. It's uncomfortable for them. And so many other things, man. And so many other things.
And that's why our challenge to our black Christian brothers and sisters is,
Any other question?
if you got white Christian friends, ask them. Ask them. Let's put it to the test. You can teach what they teach, have the same doctrine they have, teach all that, the same Roman Catholic dogma. But if you decide one day to wake up and say, I'm gonna put the needs of black people first in the forefront, and that was your political view, how many of those white Christians will remain your friend? And that'll reveal to you what the mindset of your white Christian acolytes are.
Yo, nobody is focused more on race than an American Christian.
Right.
You're focused on race. We it's proof on video. If you go to our channel, we're out there discussing Christ. Y'all are at a concert singing together. You walk past the brothers, everything that's being shouted at us is racially motivated.
Right.
And we're not even talking about race.
talking about-
That was on camera.
We're talking about keeping the
We're talking about
That was
Mark
on
chapter
camera.
7.
We-
Mark chapter 7.
And it's always people that look like us. So now, if I'm the white man, I'm gonna stand back and go, I don't have to fight this group. Their own people are their primary opponent.
Yep.
The people that we're trying to help. Y'all back Donald Trump, and he's talking about reparations for the white man right now. You're cut. Because you tried to shout us down when we asked for reparations, saying it was demeaning for the black man to ask for reparations, trying to separate yourself and set yourself apart, saying you didn't want reparations, and you was down with Trump, and anybody asking for reparations is purposely playing a victim. And this man been president for 3 hours talking about reparations for the white man because his feelings is hurt. You're cut. You feel like a fool, but you won't even admit it. I'm talking to them because I know they watch you. You won't even admit it, man.
What would they get reparations for?
By the emotional damage that's done through critical race theory being taught in schools, which is affecting their psyche. But you was actually beaten, robbed, and murdered.
Yo, so talking about slavery is the reason why white people deserve reparations.
That's crazy.
So saying that you beat me and you feeling bad about it, I gotta pay you for that?
And we keep
Yo,
telling you
Slack.
there's nobody here to save you.
That's the biggest okie doke ever, bro.
And that's why we keep telling you there's no one here to save you. The doctrine that we teach, that is going to be the salvation for black people. The salvation for black people is prefer one another.
That's it.
Because guess what teaches that? The Bible. So you call us racist, you call our doctrine a doctrine of bigots, you have to have that commentary concerning the
That
scriptures.
financial inclusion you looking for, you don't really need it.
At all.
It's a mind state. That financial inclusion you're looking for is basically saying, white man, value my services and my persona enough to pay me a lot.
Right.
So you're still going like this. You could be a millionaire doing this. Our women are millionaires doing this. So just know that, right? What we're saying is that financial inclusion that you're looking for is right behind that wall of brotherhood.
Right.
Because
Final chamber.
what's stopping me from having a great quality of life? I went to school, I'm an electrician, and I come back to my neighborhood and I buy the house that I grew up in the neighborhood because I'm the electrician for the neighborhood.
Right.
They don't go outside of me.
Right.
They come to me.
They come to me.
For all of these problems. I'm fully booked and I'm paid my weight because they don't, because we go to the Sicarii store, we go to Phipps Plaza.
Yeah.
We go to what's the mall? Lenox Mall.
Lenox Mall.
And they mark everything up 300%.
Right.
And you know what we do? We make it rain. But when a brother comes to you and say, hey, this is the competitive rate that I'm charging for my services,
Too much.
You can't come down on that.
you're asking a lot.
It ain't Louis.
We gotta stop doing that to each other and prioritizing them for value and start valuing each other. And that financial inclusion that you was looking for was right behind your people.
The whole time.
And you don't understand. The only reason Louis is because you like it. The only reason Gucci is because you like it. The only reason that any of these major quote unquote name brands and high fashion companies and all these things, the only reason why they have any value is because you value it. So who is needed? You're needed. In order for their economy to even have any type of value, they need your dollar. You are the product. So when you start having the understanding that the power is with the people that you come together with, and decide that the people who are always excommunicated from the rest of society are the people that I need to get with because I'm part of that group, you'll be better off.
And the Jews have figured that out because when you go into Brooklyn, they got complete buildings owned and rented out to their entire family, but their entire family is on Section 8. So now by me renting an apartment to my cousin, I'm getting a subsidy from the government. But my cousin isn't treating my house like a piece of trash. It's actually a luxury apartment because of how they choose to live in it and how clean it is and how all the fixtures is new and how the hallway is always clean because why would I disrespect the hallway where I live at? But us as a people, look at the situation when we're given Section 8. We destroy the apartments that we come from. We kill each other and body each other around these apartments. That's a mind state problem. Okay, it's a genocide in your mind first, and the Hebrew Israelites represent an antidote for that. But before we can teach it to our people, they've already been indoctrinated not to listen to us, as if we are some type of evil entity. They call us the same thing as the KKK. How am I the same as the KKK? Because I study Hebrew and Greek and read the Bible out loud. How am I the same as the KKK?
KKK did some wild things.
They did.
But how am I the same? Well, you teach hate. Wait, there's several ways I can answer that question. The elders would say the Bible teaches hate, and they will embarrass you. They go to Amos and show you hate the evil, love the good. The Bible just taught hate and make you feel stupid for a second because you never knew that was in the book. Another way to answer that is I teach love, not hate. I don't teach hate for the right man. I don't care about them.
I don't think about them.
I teach love for my own people.
Right.
Well, why do you just teach love for your own people? You've never asked nobody that
You
question.
never asked that.
You have never asked nobody that question.
They never did.
You never asked the Asian man why you love your own people. You never asked the North Korean man why you love your own people. You never asked the French man why you love your own people.
You never asked your own people.
You never asked the Portuguese, the Spaniard, why do you love your own people? You never asked the German man, damn, why you love Germany so much? But when black people start talking about black love, it becomes, well, it's everybody love, really. And that's y'all letting us know that you don't even, it's not even so much as you threatened by us, you hate us.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You don't want to see us with nothing. And that's hard for me to accept. But when I look back at my life, that is the reality. You don't want to see us with nothing. That's why when we can have a black Wall Street, which was built by black dentists, created that area. You bombed it. So that means there was nobody in the office that sent the munitions that said, we're not going to bomb these people, bro. They're not even bothering us. Nobody fixed their mouth to say that.
Nobody.
And in the world stage, what happened to it, I'm never going to let nobody forget our civil rights. And we got to become more versed in that. I did the class on black inventors and all the things we invented while being brutally oppressed. And we not remembered for that.
Everybody
I
rides.
did that class for y'all. Brothers was there. We taught you that. Never gonna let y'all forget y'all civil rights. Our civil rights were so brutal that we have sundown towns to this day. That was just taught. I think Captain Maikai was teaching that.
Prominent sundown towns.
Where niggas can't even be outside after a certain time, and it's understood in the community that if we catch you outside, we're gonna harm you. You don't allow that for nobody.
Nope. My bad.
You good. You don't allow that for anyone. But when it's a sundown time for a black person, it's just, it goes without saying. It's just like, damn, that's crazy.
That's just what it is.
Wow. Man, it's tough.
Man was just lynched in North Carolina.
But imagine Fox News' media coverage on a sundown time for white people.
Right.
Where a black community said, if we catch a white person outside, it's up. Y'all would be out there with the military.
Yep.
Because you love your own people.
Yep.
So allow me to love my own people. Allow me to be dedicated to their advancement and uplifting. Stop assassinating our leaders. Stop teaching our people racist talking points to invalidate their right to be a human being in this earth today. And I'm asking you that before our God returns. I'm asking you that before our Messiah returns. Because when he comes back, there's no more asking.
He ain't asking. Hey, and stop criticizing us for correcting our youth too. You complain that, hey, what about the issues that you got in your community? Well, when we stand up and decide, you know what? We're gonna do something about the issues in our community. You call us hate mongers for doing it. We want our black youth to stop killing each other in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
We want our black youth to love each other and understand that the elders in their community are there to guide them and respect them. Respect those people as your elders, and the community is gonna be better off. And you're gonna have a better future. We want our mothers to love their children more than their own beauty. We want our fathers to love their families more than the status or rap dream that they wish they had. That's what we want. We want family units to be family units. We want strong men to lead their community, and we want our people to be better off.
We short on time. Let's get some more questions, all right?
From Zechariah, is Isaiah 58:13. Wouldn't it be a law, right? Is it originally talking about fasting, in particular the Day of Atonement?
Read it.
It's Isaiah chapter 58 verse 13. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath,
See, there we go again.
from doing thy pleasure on my holy day,
Come on.
and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord, honorable, and shalt honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thine own words.
Again, finding your own pleasure means I'm waiting to do what I wanted to do on the Sabbath. Instead of putting God first, I put what I wanted to do first. We're not doing that. We're teaching the Bible right now, going on an hour.
He's at GSU at 4:30.
Brothers was outside having camp hours ago. I was sitting at a computer editing a camp video that's going to premiere at 9 for you hours ago. Our entire day has been about God. So we actually made the Lord a delight. So it makes sense that we should be able to kick back and also relax and enjoy ourselves.
Come on, bro.
We put God first.
What are we doing?
We put our needs second. That's what that scripture is talking about. Instead of making the Sabbath about what you want to do, make it about God. It does not mean and should not be interpreted as you cannot enjoy yourself on the Sabbath. All right? It shouldn't be taught that.
Because again, the Sabbath was made for who?
Man.
For man.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Come on, man.
Go to the next one.
This is Soldier Abai. He says Sirach 41:19 breakdown.
All right.
Sorry, 41:19. Get that?
You got the thing?
This is Sirach
You can
chapter
relate from
41
cool.
verse 19. And of theft in regard of the place where thou sojournest, and in regard of the truth of God and his covenant, and to lean with thine elbow upon the meat, and of scorning to give and take.
Okay, so I think, what is your question concerning this?
Just gonna have
I wanted to break down.
We're just gonna have to
All right, so,
41 what?
okay, so what's being taught right here, Sirach 41:19,
upload.
these are things that you ought to be ashamed of. It's what's being taught in Sirach 41.
Yeah, reverse.
What you have to be ashamed of, read verse 16 and then jump back down to
Verse 16. Therefore be shamefaced according to my words.
So be ashamed of these things. What Sirach is teaching is practical things of how to conduct yourself, right? And what type of morality compass you're supposed to have, read.
For it is not good to retain all shamefacedness, neither is it altogether approved in everything.
All right, now jump down.
Verse 19. And of theft in regard of the place where thou sojournest.
So you should be ashamed to steal,
Stealing where you live.
right? You should be ashamed to steal.
It's like you live in a neighborhood and you stealing from the people inside your neighborhood. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Right, you should be ashamed of that.
Sirach teaching you etiquette.
Right.
Sirach teaching you how to conduct yourself in your community. This Sirach is for the black community.
And how not to break the laws of God, because it's against the laws of God to steal. Those are things you should be ashamed of.
I know, but it be dying.
And in regard of the truth of God and His covenant.
and regarding the truth of God and His covenant. So you shouldn't be disregarding that, right? The way you disregard the truth of God and His covenant is by breaking the commandments. Keep reading.
And to lean with thine elbow upon the meat.
And at the meat, meaning at the table, you should be ashamed to conduct yourself like an animal.
Right.
You gotta have proper etiquette.
Eating like you ain't never ate before.
Yeah, with your elbows on the table.
My grandma would say, act like you got some sense.
Act like you got sense. Act like you've been somewhere.
Like, act like you've been somewhere. That's the exact thing.
And that's how you know that the Israelites are the most civil people on earth. Because after all the things that have happened to our people, these are things we teach our people to do, and these are the ways we conduct on a daily
Let me get
basis.
some more likes on the video. I told you earlier when the video first started, you don't have to monetarily support us. Just physically do it. Press a button. Subscribe to the channel and like the video. That helps a lot.
While the Edomites was in caves eating fleas and lice, Iraq was teaching us to not eat with our elbows on the ground.
Right. and we conduct ourselves in that manner, right? Like this society is with Shalom. This society is built off of degeneracy. And in a degenerate society, you got Black, Hispanic, and Native American men, women, and children who are operating in a civil manner guided by Scripture and by the Holy Word. Now, we're supposed to be the people that you would love to be around.
Of course.
Like an Israelite is the best neighbor you can have.
I say that all the time.
Yo,
I say that all the time.
Yo. So-called white people wash their body with the bare bar of soap.
Oh my God.
And they don't wash their legs.
Bare bar.
And some of them only take baths when it's raining outside. Y'all trying to tell us how to conduct. I'm gonna stick with what the Bible says.
So
in England, y'all don't even brush y'all teeth.
yeah, so all your commentary.
They got no fluoride in the water.
Oh, come on. Because the teeth is doing this.
Order.
It's like,
We got brothers in the UK.
yeah, we do.
They gonna set the record straight.
So all your commentary, your negative commentary on the Black community, you don't know what our community operates. You don't know our culture. You don't know how we operate and what we teach our children. Right? Only thing you have is a racist, bigoted understanding and point of view of our people because it stems from a racist, bigoted heritage.
And you can't even tell me because it's nothing. There's nothing that you can say that's actually wrong about brothers that push the word on the corner. The Israelites. There's nothing you can really say is wrong. And all of y'all really are hypocrites for real. Because I showed y'all how it's a church in the woods in Arkansas. And they teaching that white men come from the dust of the ground, and the Lord breathed the breath of life in them, and that black people come from the beasts of the field. That's what they teach.
But you're not over there.
You're not over there.
You're not over there teaching against the doctrine.
You're not. That's how we know it's deeply rooted in racism. You're against what we're doing right now.
That's right. More questions?
I got one more.
Soldier Kawashai, who authored the KJV preface? So you don't have one.
KJV version preface?
KJV preface?
That's a good question.
That's a very deep. That's a good question.
47
But
scholars.
I think what he's asking is who. Well, no, those would be the scribes.
I think
the scribes would be the they would be the 47.
I think the person that did the preface for the King James version of the Bible is King James. On why he wrote
It's written to. The preface of the King James is written to King James. So he didn't write that.
He had to authorize it, and he had to affirm that this can be given to the public. That's the purpose of the
What an
KJV.
interesting question. You know why I don't care about the preface? Because it ain't part of the Bible. I don't care.
The preface is supposed to be based off the manuscripts. So
It's just them talking about how much they love King James and how hard they work to bring a proper translation of God's word to the English speaker.
Oh, you talking about the epilogue? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the preface.
Okay. All right. I understood.
What's
that
next?
William Jones, Ecclesiastes 12:4. Can I get a breakdown of that? Because I struggle trying to help those that are in need, knowing that they don't keep the laws that you was commanded or commandments.
Hold on, read it smooth.
That says commandments. Can I get a breakdown of that? Because I struggle trying to help those that are in need, knowing that they don't keep the laws that you was commanded, even the poor don't.
Okay, Ecclesiastes 12 and 4.
I didn't try it.
Read that. So you want
Ecclesiasticus
Not Ecclesiastes.
12 and 4?
12 and 4.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes 12 and 4.
What does it say?
And the doors shall be shut in the streets.
He means Ecclesiasticus 12 and 4.
think so.
If thou will give us, know who thou givest to.
Yeah, that's what he means.
Oh, okay. He said the poor. Okay, never mind. Go to Ecclesiastes 12.
Oh, yeah,
Is
we're
that
ready.
right? Chapter 12 and verse 4, it says, give to the godly man and help not a sinner.
No, start at 3.
Verse 3, there can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms.
So there's no good to someone who's
No, I
occupied.
got a video.
in
I'm
evil,
live.
meaning you're an active a transgressor, right? And to somebody who does not give alms, because you're not giving alms, you're forgetting what? You're forgetting the poor, right? Keep reading.
Give to the godly man.
Give to who?
To the godly man.
Give to the godly man. Now, what is the godly man? The godly man isn't just the rich. The godly man isn't just the poor. The godly man is the man that does what?
6
the
minutes.
will of the Most High God. Read.
Matter of fact, let me
And
do
help
this.
not a sinner.
And don't help a sinner. So if somebody is coming to you asking for $1 because they want to go smoke a pipe, you
can't give them that.
Bro,
why would you give
because
him
now
that?
you aiding in his habit. You're
You're
aiding him destroy himself. So that's what it's saying.
always asking for $1. But she
Yeah.
had to make a ruling. Don't give her
Don't
nothing.
give her nothing. She smoked crack right in front of this spot.
I think we're done.
All right, so look, right now, what we're gonna do is we premiering a new camp video. Y'all gonna enjoy that. Yo, what up? We premiering a new video. We gonna go in there and get the hospitality from our brothers of Sicarii. Then we're gonna go live on the Patreon and the YouTube memberships later tonight from the school. Y'all tap into that. It's gonna be a live stream. It's gonna run until we leave from here. All right, so it's gonna be like y'all here. Make sure y'all tap in. If you don't have that, become a YouTube member, become a Patreon member, and you can watch that. So get ready for the class video. Thank you for studying with us. We the Sons of Thunder. It's our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved, because that's all we got time to worry about.
That's it.
All right. With that said, we're gonna see y'all later. Tap back in. Shalom.
Oh.
Let's
What's up, Chris? What's going on?